we have used several functions in a program. Your print function, input function, square root function, pow function, etc. Today let us study how to create our own functions. I will explain this using an example. First, let me write a program to calculate the area of a square without using any user-defined functions. So you can take a new file. You can start by saving the file. It's already done for you. Now you can start with a comment. Okay. Now certainly the side of the square should be entered from the keyboard. Let it be decimal number. So you can write float. You can write input. You can write enter the side. Now you can calculate the area. Area equals side into side. Certainly the answer should be displayed. Area of the square equals area. You get the answer. Nothing to explain. It's a simple, straightforward program. Okay. Now, here the default function of a program is the main function. So this is actually inside the main function of the program. Okay. So execution of a Python program starts at the main function and it ends at the main function. Now, just like input, just like print, let me create my own functions. Okay. So what are the different tasks that you perform inside the main function? Read the side of the square, calculate the area of a square, and display the area. Three things are there to be done. Okay. Let me create functions to perform each of these tasks. So in order to read the side of a square, let me create a function. How do you do that? Like this. First, use the keyword def followed by name of the function. So read side. Function symbol followed by colon. A function should end with a colon, or in other words, colon marks the beginning of the block of statements associated with the function. Now let me write the body of the function. The first line of the function should be a comment that describes what the function does. And this comment is known by the name document string. So the first line of function is a comment. We don't say it as comment, it's a document string. So let me write a document string used to read the side of the square. Now I think I can cut and paste this one. Right click, cut, you can paste. Okay. So these are statements associated with the function read side. Just see the indentation of the statements, whereas these are statements associated with the main function. Just see the indentation. Okay, so these are not statements associated with the read side. Okay, only these two statements are there. Okay, now when you run a Python program, execution of a Python program does not start here. It starts at the main function. So for your information, here let me write a comment. Main function. Okay, so when you run a Python program, execution of a Python program starts at the main function, it ends at the main function. Okay, fine. Now here area is equal to side into side. The poor Python interpreter does not know what side is. So you should call this function read side. Only after that area should be calculated. Okay, so now I am going to call this function that I have created, read side. Alignment is very important, like this. How do you call a function? Just see name of the function followed by function symbol, and if anything is to be written here, that must be written. Anyway, in our case, nothing is there. Okay, so you can call the function like this, name of the function followed by function symbol. So now what is the meaning? Execution of a Python program starts here, control comes here. The poor Python does not know what read side is because it is a programmer created function. So it searches for a meaning. Searching is done from top to bottom. Comment ignored by the Python interpreter. The second line, on encountering the second line, Python interpreter understands that this one is a function. So hereafter you can remember like this: on encountering a function call, finally a control reaches a point where the function is defined. Now here side is entered from the keyboard, function completely executed, control returns to the point from where the function was called. So after executing a function, control will not come here, instead it returns to the point from where the function was called. And when the control comes back here, Python interpreter does not know the value of the variable side because this variable exists only inside this function. This variable is alive only inside this function. Okay, and the technical term used is a local variable. It is local to this function. So when the control returns back, this variable does not exist. So what you should do is, you can use the keyword return followed by side. So when you make use of return side, suppose the side entered from the keyboard is 4. So return 4. To where 4 is returned? To the point from where the function was called. So here you can write side is equal to. Okay. So suppose if it is 4 is returned, 4 appears here, that is assigned it to this variable. Here area is calculated, you get the answer. So let me run the program. F5 12 144. The answer is correct. So please understand what we did. When you run a program, execution of a Python program starts at the main function. Control goes to the next line. Assignment operator, right hand side must be assigned to left hand side. Python does not know what this is. It's a programmer created function. So it searches for a meaning. Searching is done from top to bottom. Top, comment, ignored by the compiler. When the control comes here, Python understands this one is a function. So on encountering a function call, finally control reaches a point where the function is defined. Document string ignored, side entered from the keyboard, example 5, return 5, to where it is returned? To the point from where it was called. So this variable contains 5, 5 into 5 25, area contains 25, answer displayed. Okay, so in my next video tutor, I will create one more function that will calculate the area of a square and the answer will be displayed in the computer's monitor. Next video tutor.